There it goes. The end of the ball game. The Thunder win by 1 on the road against the Boston Celtics, 105-104. OKC quietly, or maybe loudly now, playing some really good basketball in the NBA. They've now won 12 of their last 13 games on the road. Very interesting ending there. I'm Stephanie Reddy. We've got Cappy Pondexter, Brian Shaw, and Kevin McHale here in the studio. You guys, when you were watching the end of that game, you could almost choreograph and predict what was going to happen. B. Shaw, you called the Chris Paul jumper. Kevin, you called the Jason Tatum fadeaway. And Cappy, you knew exactly who they were going to go to. Cappy, your thoughts on how that game ended?
It was a terrific game. I think, OKC, if you allow them to stay around in the game, that they have the possibility and the strength to actually win a game. And Chris Paul and Schroeder, they did a tremendous job of leading his team to victory today. It's
been very interesting to watch. They've now won 16 games when they've been trailing in the second half, the Thunder have. Boston Celtics missed 2 layups. Kemba Walker misses that one, and then Jason Tatum blows that layup. Significant?
Yeah, significant when you lose a game by 1 point. It's two layups down the stretch, but right there you see Chris Paul gets to his spot, sizes up Tice on this, gives him just a little bit too much space, freezes him, and just raises up for the jump shot. And that's a layup for Chris Paul when he shoot the ball in that area.
That was the one you predicted. And Tice, he has been effective for this Celtics team. A lot of people talk about how they don't have a lot of bigs.
This is a heck of a block right there. I mean, Tatum making that block was an amazing play. And they get the run out here, and he does a really nice job of getting in there and finishing it tough in the break. And it looked like things were all going the Celtics way, and all of a sudden they call that a foul. And Brian, what do you always say late in the game? What do you got to do? You box out on free throw?
That's right. Fundamentals of free throw box out.
And they didn't.
And it cost them.
Watch Chris Paul come sneaking in there on this. Well, the first one was terrible. He almost traveled. And then he just threw that one up there. And no one touched Chris Paul. Came all the way in and got the ball.
Chris Paul continuing with his clutch performances. We know how good he is at the end of basketball games. Tonight, no exception.
Yeah, on this one, it gets out of bounds. And then, you know what? The Celtics have got to get the ball advancing. Walker makes the cardinal rule of dribbling away from your basket with your back turned. Schroeder ends up with the steal. And oof. Great play by Oklahoma. When you turn, and Brian, as a guard, when you're dribbling away from your basket with your head turned, bad things are going to happen. They come checking you down from behind.
Yeah.
Cappy, you see Dennis Schroeder jumping a trap right there.
Oh yeah, he's such a great defensive player that it's just so instinctive for him to make plays like that.
Here we are, last possession. Jason Tatum with the smaller Chris Paul.
But Chris Paul does a good job of getting lower than Tatum, getting that leverage on him, pushing him out. And not only did he get a swipe down, you'll see here, he gets a swipe on the jump shot and a contest.
Yep.
Swipe with the right hand, contest with the left.
And that left was up in his face, too, after the swipe down. That's disconcerting. And also, that whole play started, the Celtics took it out left side out of bounds, and the referee didn't inbound right away. And Tatum was supposed to come in late into the post. And the play kind of got off kilter, and then Paul did a great job of pushing him out anyway. And he ends up taking a tough 17, 18-foot fadeaway. And, hey, look, I watch Oklahoma City quite a bit. That's a rinse, wash, and repeat deal for them. They hang around on the road. They make plays late. They win these one-possession games. And the whole time, Brian, we were talking, I said, they're going to mess around and win this game by possession, because that's just kind of what they do. They have an unbelievable, right now, faith in their ability to win close games on the road, which is tremendous to watch. They made that game happen. Schroeder chasing him down, they made that game happen.
We were all talking about this may be one of Chris Paul's finest works of art this season. 28 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. He stopped and talked after the game.
Chris, you relish those moments. Take me through that defensive stand.
Man, I ain't got that emotional in a while. Missing Shea tonight. A lot of guys stepped up. I sort of knew they was going to go to JT there. Hell of a play. Everybody know how good he is. So, I mean, my contest wasn't much of nothing. He see right over me. But all I could do was try to make it tough on him.
You and Dennis ambush Walker in the backcourt. Tell me about that play.
Yeah, man. I told Dennis I'll fight with him any day. any day. And we said we wanted to get one trap. I tried to cut him off, but the presence of mind of Dennis to be there for the steal and not foul. It's a great team win for us, man. Great win, great win.
We talk about the mental toughness. You're down 18 on the road and down big, huge second half comeback. What do you think got you over the hump?
Just togetherness. You know, this is truly a team, man. And, you know, guys step up, guys, they know their roles. And throughout the game, arguments here and there. But one thing about it is we play for each other.
Heck of a game, like he said. Here's an updated look at the Western Conference standings. Oklahoma City sitting in the 6th position, and ruh-roh, Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
Things can change. We still have several games left as we watch this thing pan out. And we're going to take a look at how clutch the Thunder have been. John Schumann tweeted this. Thunder are now 24-5 in games that were within 5 in the last 5 minutes since Thanksgiving. So this is not a new thing. This has been consistent. I think Billy Donovan needs to get a shout out here because he has certainly strung together a series of games that have illustrated how he can orchestrate a strategy and help his players implement it. Cappy, how important has their play been?
It's been very important. I think they're playoff ready, and honestly, I think they can really get into that 5th spot if Houston doesn't step up. So it's going to be really exciting going down the stretch.
Last 5 minutes of the game, you got to get extra possessions, which you saw Oklahoma City did. You don't turn the ball over, which you saw Oklahoma didn't turn it over. You've got a defensive rebound, your board, which they did on those missed layups. There are certain things you do. In our league, I learned a long time ago, for the old gnarly vets that I came in as an idiot rookie, they said, look at Rook, they'll give you more games and we'll win. We will not give any games away. We never made mistakes late. We took care of the ball. We took care of our business. And the other team used to puke up games left and right, and I'd be shocked. They'd be up. We'd be down 5 with 2 minutes to go. We went by 4. I'd be like, dang, how did this ever happen? But all those old guys I play with, a lot of Hall of Fame guys too. I mean, they were old, but they were good. But you didn't lose games, and you didn't beat yourself. Right, the Celtics tonight, when they look at this film, they beat themselves. Kemba Walker dribbling away from his basket with his back turn. Missed layups. Who doesn't block out Chris Paul? How the hell did he get in on that thing? But they did all this stuff. And again, I can't tell all those young fellows out there that are playing basketball and want to get good. The last 5 minutes of the game, a lot of times you just don't have to beat yourself. You just be solid. You play good, solid basketball and let the other team give you the game. And Oklahoma City has figured that out. 24-5 in tight games, Brian. That's impressive.
Yeah, and you talked about Billy Donovan and, you know, giving him some kudos. You know, first of all, for selling this team that they could be as good as they are right now. You know, everybody thought that they were going to tank going into this season. And, you know, but they sold the idea to this team that Chris Paul had bought in and everybody else kind of fell in place. The 24-5 in close games, 5 or less, since Thanksgiving. But the other impressive thing is now they're 19-4 on the road since the beginning of December, which is incredible. And when you look at them in the 6th spot right now, they're going to start off the playoff series, whoever they play against, on the road. So this bodes well for them, the confidence that they're building, you know, whether they're playing at home or playing on the road, that they can get it done. And so, you know, you talked about all the little things that they did, hanging around to give themselves a chance to win. And, you know, Chris Paul's been there and done it before. Steven Adams is a tested veteran. So is Gallinari. And then, you know, go back to Billy Donovan again, keeping Schroeder in his position coming off the bench tonight. He started Ferguson in Alexander's absence, and he was able to really finish the game strong tonight for them.
That's a good point, Cappy. Did this game sound any alarms for the Boston Celtics? I do know they're not 100% healthy, but we've talked on some things that were controllable, unforced errors.
Yeah, I think, you know, this late in the season, you have to be so focused on what the common goal is, and that's ultimately to compete for a championship. And I think to make plays like that late in the stretch, to me, seems unfocused. So I think they just have to get back to the drawing board and really focus on what it is they want to do.
We will see. I mean, only time will tell, right, as we take a look at this stretch ending the regular season. 11 games in the NBA today. Luka Doncic, he is the Rookie of the Year from the